I did it. I extended my Revolut Ultra plan. As you can see, I just dropped 540 euros on another year. And in this video, I want to talk to you about why I did it and give you all the reasons why it actually makes financial sense for me to go with Revolut Ultra, and also share with you my thoughts on whom Revolut Ultra is for and for whom it would not be for, and what could be better alternatives in your case. Now, a quick reminder, if you haven't heard about Revolut, definitely check it out. I made a number of videos on my channel about this. It's basically my everyday bank for daily transactions and so forth. They have different plans. You can see over here, most people start off on the free plan. I did myself in the beginning. Then there's also a plus plan, but honestly, I would disregard it. I don't really see much benefit in that. And then the option is between the premium, metal and ultra. You can see all of them have different price points. Again, depending on which country you live, there might be different prices and slightly different benefits, but more or less, all of them are falling in similar buckets. I've been on all of them, started on the free plan, then moved to the premium one, upgraded to the metal, eventually came back to the premium. Then only recently they introduced the ultra plan. So that's why 1 year ago, I signed up to the ultra. I did a 6-month review. If you want to see that, check it out after this video. And now it came up to renewal. And before that, I was thinking whether I should extend or not. But yeah, as I'll show you in the video, for me, it really makes financial sense. And that's why I went with the Ultra plan. 45 euros a month is definitely not cheap. You can see that actually makes it my 5th most expensive monthly subscription that I have. This is all my subscriptions that I have. You can see quite a lot. And in case you're not tracking your subscriptions yet, then definitely I recommend you. It's really amazing tool. I can even see it in the calendar, what charges are coming up. So really, really powerful. I'll leave a link down in the description below. You can see all the cancel tier 1 as well. So definitely a very powerful tool. Right, so before we jump into my phone, I'll take you through the app experience and show you the things I use it the most for. Very quickly, let's have a rundown on all the benefits that I use mostly for myself. You get a very fancy card. In my case, I always prefer to have my card on the phone. So I connected my Revolut card to Apple Pay. You can connect it to Google Pay as well. Very easy to do. And then all I have to do, double tap, pay for it. And it's really that easy, right? So in many cases, I don't need any wallet anymore. It's all on my phone. I love it. But yeah, if you want to have a fancy card to impress maybe some people, you can get it here as part of your Ultra plan. Then of course, they introduced some new rev points. Again, I'll touch on this in a second, but that's not something I actively use. Probably I should look into using it a little bit more. Then the cashback on the cards is attractive, and you have it on the metal plan as well. However, within Europe, it's only 0.1% and outside 1%, and it's capped at the maximum of the amount you pay per month, in this case 45 euros. So yeah, but I'll show you a way how I actually get way more cash back and you can get as well. Customer support, honestly, has always been good on any of the pay plans, but now that I'm on the Ultra plan, they even called me back, which is really, really cool, and I really quite enjoyed it. So I never had any issues with customer support there at all. Then saving on international fees for me was actually really worthwhile. And once again, I'll touch on this in a second, but for me, that's actually been a saving that helps me deduct some of the money from my monthly fee over here. Of course, high ATM withdrawal of 2,000 euros per month, which is nice, but anything over is charged at 2%. So yeah, depends. If you need a lot of cash, there might be other alternatives. For example, a Trade Republic card, which has a much better limit in that regard. But yeah, other than that, definitely enough for most people. Partner benefits, really powerful. I'll show you in a second which I use the most, but I really love it. And of course, you can see on some of the lower plans, you also have them, but some of those benefits are less powerful. They're more introductory benefits. And the higher you go on the Ultra plan, you have really the full benefits, so to say, of each of the various partners they collaborate with. Of course, insurance as well. And then we come to Revolut Pro. Here I get 1.2% cash back without any monthly limit. So if I end up spending 10,000 euros in a month, I could get 120 euros in cash back paid to me. So that would more than pay for itself, obviously. So yeah, of course, there's a caveat. The more you spend, the more you get, right? But definitely that's really nice. And I've been really enjoying it. So I actually connected my Revolut Ultra card to my Revolut Pro card. I'll show you in a second how easy that's done. And of course, one of the biggest benefits, especially for travelers, is the airport lounge access. That's together with Dragon Pass. It's a Chinese provider, but honestly, all the lounges I've been to in Dubai, Europe, and what have you, I never had any issues. Are they the most glamorous lounges in the world? No, but honestly, I get a nice space where I can sit and work. I get free food and drinks. So what more can you ask for? And I use it every single time I travel, and honestly, been really loving the experience. Plus, of course, a couple of other benefits, but of course, you can go through yourself and see what's relevant. But with this, let's jump over into the app and I'll show you how I use Revolut Ultra for myself. Right, so here we are inside my Revolut app. And honestly, I really love how simple it is. And yeah, it's just such a smooth experience. And I love how seamless and fast everything is. Here you can see right now my main account, but that's actually not the one I use the most. So if I pull down over here on the screen, I can see all my various accounts. For example, the first one is the Pro account. So that's what I'm using most of the time, because here I'm getting my 1.2% cash back whenever I spend. If I use my main account, where you see the 111 euros over here, I would only be getting 0.1% in Europe. Now with my Pro card, I get 1.2%. Obviously, it's supposed to be for business and professional expenses, but so far, touch wood, I never had any issue, when I bought some food with this. And from here, you can also have so many different currencies free of charge that you can hold, convert to, pay from it. So it's really, really nice. I live between Dubai and Vilnius, so I have a lot of dirham expenses. So it's very easy to exchange, send dirhams from here, of course, dollar as well. And you can add any other currencies that you want. I also have my savings accounts over here, so that's really powerful. So any money that I don't use, you can see actually I don't keep much in cash, because if it sits in any of my accounts, it doesn't really accumulate money for me or interest. But then I can easily move it in my savings vault, so to say. And you can see right now I'm getting 3.81% on my euros sitting over there. And if I needed some money because my balance is getting low, I can just click on withdraw over here, say I need 100 euros, withdraw, and boom, immediately it's gone from here. And now if I go back into main account, I can see it's already added over here. So that's really cool. Now you may ask yourself, how do I add it to my Pro card? Well, that's just as easy. Go into my Pro account, and from here, I can just go ahead, click add money, and then I can withdraw my money from my main account into my Pro account and vice versa. It's just super simple, super easy to do. And yeah, I just love how seamless it is, right? And also on my dollars, for example, I have another account where I used to have a lot of dollars. Right now, I send a lot of it to Dubai. But yeah, you can see I got 5.33% interest on my dollars. So really attractive. And I really recommend you, if you have some money idly sitting around, put it in here, capitalize on it, then you can withdraw it and use it so quickly. Because sometimes keeping it in another broker where you invest, for example, and you get a nice interest, but then you have to transfer it into your bank, it might take 2-3 days, right? And this way with Revolut, it's absolutely seamless and you have it right away. And of course, I love all the analytics. For example, I can click into here and see all my analytics for every month, how I'm spending my money, where it goes, etc. Even when I click into single transaction, for example, Remy, which is a local supermarket over here, I can click into this. I can see in total I spent 13,000 euros in that supermarket chain. I mean, they better roll out the red carpet next time I go there. But yeah, so still nice to see all those analytics, which I really love how easy and seamless they make it. Right, but let's talk about why for me it's actually worth paying that much money, 540 euros for Revolut Ultra. So I would say it's 4 main things that I mostly use it for and I see the value for myself. First off is of course the cashback. You can see so far I earned in cashback 829 euros. So you can see technically it more than paid for itself already for last year and already starting to pay for this year. By the end of this year, I will definitely have twice that amount. So I'm sure I'll get there to definitely cover it with cashback only, which, again, is a double-edged sword, right? It means also I spend a lot, but I would spend that money anyway. So if by doing so, I still get cashback, that's amazing. Because let's be honest, unfortunately in Europe, there aren't really many good cashback options out there. Now I know there's some American Express and some other cards, but a lot of them only give you miles. And I don't know about you, but I'm not a big fan of miles because usually when I need them, they're expired or you have to book them with a special deal. I like to have the money in cash and then I can decide what I want to do with it. So if I click into this over here, you can see all the various cashbacks that I got each month. Most of it, as you can see, is from Revolut Pro. If I open up over here, you can see all the transactions. And for example, last month, I almost got 30 euros in cashback. I mean, that's really nice. I pretty much paid 2/3 of my monthly plan, which is 45 euros. Plus, of course, I had all the other benefits on top. Then you see some of the months it was a little bit less because obviously when I live in Dubai, I use my local Dubai bank account and card for transactions where I also get 1% cash back. So then I use my Revolut card less. But then previously, when I was living in Europe, you can see obviously, in March, 94 euros in cashback. I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable. I got more than twice the amount I paid for my plan in cashback. February, 130 euros. Now, obviously you can see, if you do the math, I spent a lot that month. We've been traveling, we've been, investing into our apartment and various things. But still, otherwise, if I wasn't on the Revolut Ultra plan, with my Pro card, I wouldn't be getting that 1.2% cashback. So for me, it really makes financial sense. And that's why I'm saying that alone is really paying for itself. Then, of course, the second point that I really appreciate about Revolut Ultra are the partner benefits that I get with it. So you can see all the various benefits that I get by using Revolut Ultra. And I don't use all of them, to be honest. I mostly use 3. The first one is Financial Times, which I really love, honestly. I read it every single day. And I think the monthly cost, if I would pay for it myself without Revolut Ultra, it would be pretty much similar, maybe slightly cheaper than the Ultra plan. But that for me alone is really, really nice. Then, of course, NordVPN. You need to have a VPN. If you're not using any VPN yet, then what are you doing? You're really exposing yourself online, working from a coffee shop, for example, and you're not connected to a VPN. It's so easy for other people to see what you're doing on your phone. So really, really important. NordVPN is amazing. There are other great VPNs out there like Surfshark, etc. But I love NordVPN, and the fact that it comes free of charge in my case, it's really nice, and that's something I use every single day, so I'm really happy. And I would honestly pay for it if I wouldn't get it through a Revolut Ultra because it's that important. And of course, WeWork, whenever I do travel and I'm in a city that has a WeWork, which most of bigger cities do have, despite them going bankrupt, they still operate. I'm not sure how the structure works in the future, but for the time being, you can still use WeWork. You get 3 free access per month in any city they're available. When I was in Berlin, I used it in London, in Dubai, and you can see a number of other partners, and they keep on adding new ones. For example, this SysGet, whatever it's called, it's new. I haven't actually seen this before, so that's a new partner that came on board. Tinder, my wife told me not to take advantage of this option. For example, Headspace is quite cool meditation app as well. Unfortunately, not all the partner benefits are the same in every country. I believe in the UK, they have a couple of more. In other countries, a few less. With this, we move to the third reason why I decided to continue going with the Revolut Ultra plan, and that's the unlimited airport lounge access. You will actually find it over here if you go into lifestyle, and from here you go to travel, and then you see all the various things. Just click on the lounge pass over here, and that will bring up the code that you scan at the airport lounge. They just scan it over there, you show your boarding pass, and then you can enter. And honestly, it's been so seamless. I never had an issue. And obviously, if you want to find a lounge in advance, just click over here, browse lounges. And from here, you can literally look up any city where you're going to. For example, Heathrow Airport, if I pull it up over here, I can use all those various lounges. Really, really nice. Dubai, right? I mean, look at this. When I open it up over here, I can use all those various lounges, which is really incredible. I'm telling you, some of those lounges are really very nice. Now, of course, are they now first-class lounges? No, but as I said, really good food, nice drinks, coffee. Before I go, I can work from there in peace. And that alone actually also saves me money, because by going into the lounge, I can work from there in peace and quiet in a nice environment, meet nice people and what have you, while at the same time not having to spend money, otherwise sitting in the airport, paying for overpriced coffees and food, which usually is very lousy anyway. So in a way, that's a saving, right? But of course, I understand that's mostly relevant for people who travel a lot, right? If you travel once a year, that feature alone may not be worth it for you. For me, who travels really quite a lot, this feature is really very powerful, and I've been using it even multiple times during the day. So when I took a flight in the morning from one city to another and had a layover, I could use it again in the other city. So you can use it multiple times a day. So it's really, really nice. And usually a lounge access can cost 40 euros or more in some cities. So I usually end up using it twice, when I leave and when I come back in the other city. So definitely that alone is 80 euros. So more than pays for my plan again, right? And you can also get discounted access for your friend or partner. Select how many you want, pay for it, and you'll get access to that as well. You can see 24 euros instead of 40 euros in the lounge where I went last time. So I bought for my wife as well. She doesn't have Revolut Ultra, so that really makes it easy. Sometimes if we just have a short layover, then I would just go to the lounge, grab some snacks, get a few drinks, leave the lounge, and then we share it elsewhere. So that's a little hack to save some money there as well. And the fourth and final reason why I really think it's worth it for me is for international transfers. Now I send money quite a bit internationally. I receive it internationally, but also send it internationally. And honestly, sometimes those can get really expensive. For example, Wise, which is an alternative for sending money internationally and actually quite cheap in a way. If you were to send 10,000 euros from your Euro account to Dubai, for example, in dirham, obviously that's a conversion rate, but the fee alone would be 70 euros just for the one transfer. Now I understand, if you don't do international transfers, again, it may not be relevant, but in my case, I do a lot. So those things alone, it would really make more sense for me to go with the Revolut Ultra plan, because I would be saving that money, because here I'm not being charged anything for the transfer. As you can see over here in the Revolut plan overview, once again, save on international transfers. And you can see on the Ultra plan, it's absolutely free. And that alone, as I said, I send quite a bit internationally every single month. So that saves me a lot of money. So yes, 540 euros is a lot of money. But when I consider all the benefits, the cashback, the partner benefits, the lounge access, and the free international transfers, for me, this is worth more than 45 euros a month. So by going with the Revolut Ultra plan, I actually get out more value than I pay for it. So for me, it's really no brainer. And that's why I extended it for yet another year. Now, one other cool feature that I recently introduced is Rev points. So you can see for every euros that I spend, I would get one Rev point. They're called Rev points, which I then can redeem for other things. But that only applies if you pay with your regular Revolut Ultra card. But as I use my Revolut Pro card, unfortunately, I won't get those points on the spendings. By the way, this, if I double click over here, how my Revolut Pro card looks, you can see over here, cashback, it's a virtual card. And yeah, that just works for me. You could round up your spare cash. So whenever you spend something, they would round it up and put it towards your points. They also have challenges. So different challenges that when you complete them, you get little points. You can see for all the challenges down at the bottom over here, how many points you would get for that. And those points you can then redeem for other things. And the cool thing is also how you can redeem. It shows you over here. You can, for example, convert your points into airline miles. So that's really interesting. So the more points you have, once again, more or less 1 point equals to 1 euro. But I could transfer it to another airline. For example, if I fly Qatar Airlines, I could just, go ahead, continue. You can see 1 point equals 1 mile. And then I just add my membership number over here and I would transfer those points to my airline membership, which is honestly really cool, really nicely done. If you fly a lot and collect miles, then that's a great option. Again, I'm not a big fan of that. It's really hard for me to keep track of miles. I fly different airlines all the time. So in my case, it doesn't make sense. But if you do, then I think it's a real cool option over here. And it also shows you, for example, how I can use those points plus pay a little difference on top to redeem it for hotel stays, for example. So really, really nice. So if you're not planning to use the Revolut Pro card on your Ultra plan, then I think that's really a nice way to rack up points and use those for other things. And of course, you can also get them by, for example, booking a hotel over here. And honestly, in the past, I haven't really been impressed very much with their booking engine because usually it ended up being the same, if not slightly more expensive than booking.com, for example. So you can always double check. Right now, I didn't actually find one that's cheaper, but exactly the same price. For example, Conrad, London, St. James. If I click into this over here, click on choose room, and I can see, okay, that's what I'll be getting. Choose this room over here, select, and you can see it's 930 euros. On booking.com, it's also 930 euros. However, the difference is that by booking this, I will be getting 1,550 points. Now, technically, as you saw before, 1 point equals 1 mile. So I'll be getting 1,550 miles that I could use for my airlines later on, right? So that in itself is really quite powerful. And when I did the exercise before, many times I found cheaper deals here than on booking.com. And on booking.com, I'm actually the highest genius level. So in that way, I should get the best deal. But I found many times actually a better deal on Revolut. So in the future, I will definitely always double check and then decide whether I book through that or booking.com. I believe they're using Expedia at the back end to get the best deal. But yeah, either way, really quite tool as well to keep in mind. And once again, that's how you rack up the points to use elsewhere. And another nifty feature that they recently introduced is the eSIM. So you'll actually get an eSIM and basically you can use your eSIM globally. Obviously, you wouldn't want to watch YouTube videos with this because you quickly burn through this 3 GB. But honestly, it's a nice way to be connected on the go in countries where you're just going to be a few days and you don't want to necessarily have to get a new SIM card for that. So that can be nifty there as well. That feature alone wouldn't be so attractive for me, but having it as a bonus, why not benefit from it? Plus, of course, also the insurance, which is really great. You have the purchase insurance, the travel insurance, all the various things really nicely listed over here. And again, not something I specifically would use it for. As I mentioned, the points before are more relevant for me, but having that as a peace of mind, last time when we went to Spain, for example, it made me realize I didn't need an additional insurance from another broker, for example. I was happy with the insurance I got through my Revolut Ultra plan. Now, while Revolut also makes it very easy to invest your money, that's actually how I started investing into stocks, I would really not recommend doing so because while it is easy, you have your money already sitting there, it's very easy to move in and out and buy shares and ETFs. Unfortunately, I don't think it's the best broker for that. Most importantly, because they don't allow you to transfer your shares or portfolio to another broker because you never know what happens because 5 years, 10 years from now, things might change and you may want to leave Revolut to send my money to another bank. That's very easy, but your shares would be locked in here. So you would have to sell them and then repurchase them in another broker. That would be a taxable event. So really not advisable. As I said, I used to use them, but right now I think there are much better options out there like Trading 212, Lightyear, Interactive Brokers. These are some of the brokers that I use and I can really recommend. As you see, in my case, it really makes financial sense to go with Revolut Ultra. I was thinking long and hard about it because yes, 540 euros is definitely quite a big amount and you have to pay it in one go. But at the same time, as I've shown you, for me, it really makes financial sense. But I honestly also understand that for a lot of people, that really wouldn't be the best plan and you might be much better off on either the premium or metal plan. The free plan might be good in the beginning if you just want to start dabbling around, but I think most people, either the premium or metal one might be better options, especially if you don't travel much or you don't have so many monthly expenses, then the cashback for you wouldn't be really relevant. And if you also don't do international transfers, well, then you really don't have any need for the Ultra plan. But if you do any of those that I mentioned, then I think it's a great option. I haven't seen any other bank out there that offers anywhere close to that. If there are, let me know in the comments down below. I'll be happy to check them out. But for the time being, I'm super happy. I'll continue with Revolut Ultra. I wish by now it would be sponsoring my videos. Unfortunately, they don't. So I pay for it out of my own pocket. But for me, in my eyes, it's really worth the money. I'll continue to do so. Next up, check out this video over here. As always, thanks a lot for watching. Stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.